Hi, my name is Van King. I play the voice of Cave Johnson in the upcoming Portal series. Cave Johnson is a complicated guy. He's supposedly a scientist, highly intelligent. He's actually a huckster. It would be more appropriate for a promotionalist in a zoo or a circus than he would as a science manager. Nonetheless, he's the moving force behind a very large company, seemingly successful, made a lot of money. He's going to get somewhere. Well, every actor hopes that their character will grow during the series. The problem with Cave Johnson, he's painted himself into a box. He's a man who doesn't really grow. Even in the official Portal movies, his problem was that the only change that he experienced was that he was going to die. And from that, he didn't really grow. He became more bitter as more and more lemons came his way. I don't know if Cave Johnson is going to grow in this series. We can only hope that he will. Oh, I like a lot of video games. I particularly liked the Legend of Zelda series, like Sly Cooper. Final Fantasy XII is really a good one that I like. Right now I've been playing Minesweeper, just so I can wake up in the morning and go to bed at night. Portal is a fun game because it lets you think about alternatives. How can you solve a problem? Where are you going to go? What is your destination? And within that framework, you're constantly being harassed by GLaDOS. You're trying to get through and understand what's going on, and every time you think you know what's going to happen, there's a personality cube that tries to set your world upside down. Or you go by a Ratman wall and it tells you things that you really don't want to know, but you need to. So there's lots of interesting variables in the series that make it a fun series to participate in. Well, mostly I am a trained mineralogist. That's what I do. So I understand where Cave Johnson is coming from. He's a scientist and I'm a scientist. Mostly I do consulting work. I do sell my voice as well as my writing skills. I've written 23 books. I've given lectures in most of the states in the United States, in Europe, Canada. It's been something that I've enjoyed doing all of my life. So this is one thing that keeps me in the multimedia challenge. Even when I was in a youth, as they say, I was in summer stock theater, participated in contest plays, generally had a theatrical background. Even in high school, I was in presentations in 4-H, in high school plays, and even in other debate teams and the like. Well, I'm glad you asked that, because it's something I tried to figure out, because I saw the newspaper article that says UP Pioneer Press, and it gives you information that you have to interpret. And as a geologist, I knew without having to look it up that the salt mines would have to be in the lower peninsula of Michigan, not in the Upper. Nonetheless, the Upper Press, as you might call it, explained not that it was in the Upper area, but it was in Upper Michigan, which was accurate. So what I wanted to know is where was the nearest salt mine that fit the criteria necessary to also have the Borealis have a port. And the only salt mine that I could find that was applicable to that was the Manistee area, where there's a mine, there's a refining facility, and it's right on Lake Michigan. So it seemed to be the perfect place. Well, if there was plutonium, it wouldn't be good stuff. But there could be radioactive strontium, all sorts of lower weight radioactives. He could have, well, he talks about fluorescent calcium, and there is a calcium isotope that's radioactive, but it's not terribly dangerous. But I'm sure that if he put enough radionuclides into the lake, that somebody would take notice after a while. You might end up with some of the creatures that you see in Homer Simpson's area, for example. I keep wondering if Springfield isn't somewhere near Manistee.